Okay, hello Girts. Welcome to Superbooth 25, day 2. Always a pleasure to see you here. And you've changed the room around a little bit, because usually there's a big tower of Eurorack everywhere.
Yeah, this time we made it a little bit easier for us, because we turned the room into a small performance hall or small club.
It's like a small club, yes. This is rather cool. This is nice.
Everyone who feels courage to play some drum machine can come on stage and perform.
So we had a look at the Echo Locator. That's just come out. We did a video on that recently, which is really cool.
I so much appreciate you doing it and found it useful.
Yeah, very performative, lots of hands-on performance. But the big surprise for us was the Hex Drums, which was only announced a few days ago.
Yeah, you know, when you build a house, you have you have intention. You know what kind of navigation you will have in your house. You know, and what kind of building materials you will use during the construction. So that was our case. You know, and this is not the first house we are building. Therefore, we have some experience how to do things, and we really want to make a drum machine which is which we would love to have, and then see if public will like it.
Absolutely,
musicians will like it. And we had all building materials, all ingredients.
You did, because so these were like all the individual Hex drums that you could get, the Eurorack modules.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they are a little bit optimized because we got rid of some Eurorack-specific functionality like CV inputs, and also because we wanted to have very hands-on and like focused interface. We bring the most important controls on the surface, and so. And we integrated it with a sequencer because, you know, it's not just a Frankenstein mashup of modules and sequencing. It's really integrated instrument.
Well, I guess we first saw that with your Perkons, which I love as well, but it's a very different drum machine, but it's also synth voice as well. So it's very different, I imagine, to what we've got here, where the Hex Drums are. I guess they're a completely different flavor to what you would get on the Perkons. Yeah,
absolutely. Because first, they are all analog modules except cymbals, which are based on our cymbals Eurorack module. So it's 10 sets of crush and ride cymbal samples, and you can select them here. And of course, adjust pitch, decay, and so. And these samples go into analog VCA and analog envelope generator. So this is kind of hybrid thing, which we same like we have on Perkons. And
very cool.
Yeah, and then when all is put together in a wise way, and routed into master compressor and master overdrive for those who appreciate more harsh sounds.
Right. Yeah.
It really shines in different sonic areas.
Great. So we have bass drum 1 and 2.
Yeah, these are derived from Hexinverter BD9. Hexinverter bass drum. Then we have Mutant Machine, optimized one, which is basically 2 oscillator percussion generator with advanced noise generator on top. Then we have snare drum, clap, rimshot, which can work as high-low rimshot and claves, hi-hats, open and closed hi-hats with filter on-off, an exclusive and independent mode, and hi-hat and master compressor. So all voices, they are hard punched in stereo field, like on some classical drum machines. So you have positioning of drums like in real drum set. And then we have stereo compressor on top with sidechain for bass drum 1 and bass drum 2. So you have this pumping extra feel, you know. And a master compressor, master overdrive. Master overdrive is optical drive, which is found on Mutant hot glue, and because LEDs are have slightly different characteristics. this master drive adds some stereo panning as well, because each channel is overdriven slightly different, and
Okay.
that was kind of an expected side effect of this stereo master drive.
Brilliant. So there seems like a lot of thought has gone into this. As you say, this is not just the modules put in and that's it. There seems to be some really interesting thoughts. I love the sidechain compression that you can do. That I mean, that's super useful.
And also on sequencer,
yes.
as we somehow know how to make very hands-on interfaces. So on sequencer, you do not need to read user manual to actually operate it, because everything is seen here. So you have individual drums running, you have mute solo, direction and scale, last step up to 64 steps per sequence.
Yeah.
And you have 16 bunks of 16 patterns, as you can save it as presets.
Okay.
Accents per track, ratchets, rolls, probabilities, micro timing, and everything is really very intuitive. So therefore we have this instrument on stage, and everybody can perform it, and people really do perform it really nicely, even seeing it for first time.
Brilliant. And what have we got on the back in terms of the outputs?
Oh yes,
please.
So concerns connectivity. So we have analog clock in, clock out, reset, and then we have individual outputs of all drums.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Then we have MIDI in, MIDI out. This is more for sequencing options.
Synchronization.
Yeah, synchronization. USB for firmware updates, and also for connectivity. Then we have headphones and master output, left, right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
And like Perkons, it's as I mentioned before, it's stereo, but you cannot pan individual drums, so they're hard panned in advance. But if you want to treat each drum separately, you can have individual outputs. Like we have on Rimshot, we have a echolocator. Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. And of course, even though you can't change the panning, you can obviously change the volume.
Yeah, of course.
There's filters on some of them as well.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like a deep dive into modules. We can go one by one, but it'll take more time. But it's like on the surface, obviously, you have pitch, you have decay on every module, and then you have individual levels and overdrive. So in some modules, with adding a level, you also overdrive the signal, which is like a signature feature on Hexinverter drum modules as well.
Absolutely. Well, I guess that's why everyone got very excited when this came out, and it was like, oh yes, great, because they were so successful. So should we have a listen?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I told before, like it's very hands-on, easy to figure out how to play. But Codec is the one who spent the most time with the drum machine during the development, so he can get most out of it.
And can I just ask, it's available to order now, pre-order?
No, we will not make pre-orders, but the estimated launch time is somewhere September.
Yeah. Do we have a rough price?
Yeah, we have quite quite exact price point. It's 1,100 euros.
Awesome.
Plus VAT if it's applicable in some countries. But so that's when we are back from Superbooth, we are focusing on finalizing the unit, fine-tuning nuances and so. And I'm so happy that we actually made Stacy's from Hexinverter idea to make drum machine happen and made it in real life.
Awesome. Well, I'm very happy you made it happen as well.
Now let's welcome Codec to the stage.
Codec.
He's hiding somewhere.
Here he is. Glasses are on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Girts.
Thank you. So I will disconnect, right?
Yeah, unless Codec wants to wear those, or...
Iečako to rimshot, tur kaut kas, ne, bet kur bija reverb, tur nebija kaut kas.